the boys and I have worked for the past hour and a half or so to gather up all the tools that I think I need for this project and get it here on the tables underneath the canopy and kind of get ourselves staged for tomorrow's work. I want to go ahead and give a quick run through of all the tools that I've got, being that I haven't started the project yet, so there's probably some things I don't have here yet that I'm forgetting, and I'll probably add to that list, I'm sure. But this is at least what's in my head that I'm going to use tomorrow. First off, I've got my toolbox here, and it is full of general building construction tools, things such as markers, pencils, squares, tape measures, drill bits, bit drivers, scissors, chalk box, rulers, anything of the sort that I might need for construction. Along with the toolbox, I have my Craftsman cordless tool set that I got way back in fall of last year when we did our kitchen renovation. By the way, still loving the tools, they're still doing great, still recommend it. But I've got my drill, my impact driver, my circular saw, my reciprocating saw. Those are the ones that I might need for this project, so I got them up here along with their batteries. I have a pair of work gloves, and then I have a tool bag here that's full of mostly plywood clips. These are plywood sheathing clips. They're designed to go between the sheets of plywood for two reasons. One, to give them a 1/8 inch space between all the panels to allow them to not buckle and warp and allow them to expand and contract throughout the year. But two, to also keep the line or the plane of the plywood from being off as they span the joints from rafter to rafter. These are pretty cheap, so I picked up more than I probably need, and I'm going to be putting them up there quite liberally. I'll just go ahead and tell you guys that. These little clips are cheap enough that I'm not going to do any hurt by putting more than I really need to. In the tool bag here, I've also got a couple of tubes of this Lexel clear sealant. This is what I'm going to be using to put the boots around the roof penetrations when everything's said and done. In the meantime, as we do the underlayment and the pipes come through the roof, we will probably just tape it because it's not going to last forever. We're not going to leave it there forever, and I don't want to waste a pipe boot to then have to pull it up and put it back down. But as I say that, I don't know, I might change my mind, so that's subject to change. Here we have one of 3 tools that I bought specifically for this project. This is a Stinger System cap stapler. Now, what in the world is this for? This is an all-in-one device that dispenses caps and then allows you to hammer staples through to hold the roof underlayment down in this project's case. This tool is also useful for house wrapping the side of homes, so in the future when we get to that project, we'll be using this thing again. I did look at getting a few other options with this tool. They do make an air-powered one, but I didn't go down that route for a couple of reasons. One being cost. It was a lot more than this. I think this was less than $50, which isn't too bad. And the other reason is just the logistical hurdles of actually getting an air hose up to the house here for this project. I do have an air compressor. It's down in my workshop, way over there. The problem is it's mounted below the floor of my workshop, permanently affixed to a structure, and it's no longer portable. It is not movable. So really taking it apart and bringing it up here for the project wasn't an option, and then it just really didn't seem worthwhile at all to buy a compressor just for this project and then also get an air powered stapler and then an air nailer, but I'll talk more about that in a little bit too. So all that to be said, I'm going to be trying out this new Stinger system, and I think it should do good. This is used by professionals quite often, so I don't think it'll be terrible. It's just going to take a little bit of practice for the whole index finger to dispense the cap and wham, staple it home. But I got an entire house roof to practice on. By the time I'm done, I should at least be halfway proficient with it. Alright, here's a look at the stapler. You've got a finger trigger here, and this is what dispenses the caps. They run on a track through here and kind of have a coil that sits right there at the back. That's where you load them in at. It's nothing but just a plastic clamshell that holds it in place. Nothing fancy. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this trigger here to dispense the first cap. There you go. Now we're ready to just smash this on the wood and put a staple through it. And this does take quite a bit of force. I've done like 2 of these when I first got this tool, and it was surprising the actual amount of force you really got to put on this thing. There we go. We have a 3/8 inch staple through the cap into the wood, and it is super tight. I was surprised how tight these are. So we'll do one more here on camera for you to see the whole action. Finger trigger first, and slap it in place. Now here, this one didn't do as good, so it's going to be very important as I work along with this on the roof to have a hammer with me and kind of give this a love tap here or there as needed. But overall, that is really nice and really cool system. Beside the tool bag is our rain contingency plan. Yep, plastic sheeting. I have 3 rolls of this that were originally bought early this year for use in the garden for making cold frames or miniature hoop houses to go over our garden beds. We didn't end up using the plastic for that, so we kept it, and this project rolled around and Sam remembered he had some things he'd hoarded, so there we go. The worst case scenario with rain hitting is I will be rolling out the plastic sheathing over the peak and flapping it down over top of the plywood and trusting good old duct tape or 3M brand whatever tape to hold it in place until the rain passes. There is not a forecast for heavy rain, but as you guys have seen with this video today, rain comes and goes. It is sunny right now, but it is raining as well. Whatever, life in the mountains. I will put the plastic sheathing down if I have to. I'm not going to put it down unless it really gets bad because I'm not worried about the plywood damaging in the rain at all. Probably the worst thing that could happen, or the greatest fear I have, is to have half of the plywood down and a really big bad downpour come and the water hit the metal roof, flow under the plywood, and then have the possibility of flowing in around all the holes in through the roof and into the attic in that sense. I don't think that's really going to be a big possible issue unless we have a lot of rain, but I have the plastic here, I have the tape here, and I will have Angela here to remind me that probably even if it does this, stop, take 10-15 minutes, roll the plastic out, and let's not ruin the whole house. I said earlier that I bought 3 tools for this project, but I also bought one other safety device for this project, and that is a suspender tool belt rig apparatus thingamajig-bob thing. It's going to be on me the whole time, probably, unless I just, I don't know, can't stand it, but I think it's going to be really helpful to keep all of my bits and bobbins with me and on me and off the house so that, one, I don't trip and fall off the house into, you know, Never Never Land. Or 2, I don't, you know, need a marker, look, and it's 50 feet down on the other side of the house, and I'm walking back and forth just kind of uselessly. Hopefully it's going to be a good safety thing, but also a convenience thing. I've been wearing it around a little bit. I wore it in when I did some roof work down at the workshop. I forget what video that was. Oh, I put a bath exhaust fan down in my workshop. A separate video, separate channel. Anyway, I used the tool belt rig then, and it did really good, so I think it's going to be great here and it'll be comfortable and good to use. Alright, I mentioned earlier how I did not buy a pneumatic stapler because of the whole air compressor too far away scenario. Well, let's go ahead and talk about what Sam's doing as far as attaching this plywood to his home. Possibly the first thing that comes to mind, and what you probably will see a lot on YouTube, is just use some exterior grade deck screws or something of the sort. And I considered that. But then I got to thinking about, 1, flexibility or lack thereof with screws, but then 2, the actual labor it's going to take to install, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000 screws in the roof, and the fact that I only have 2 small batteries for my cordless drills kind of left me thinking it's probably going to be a little bit inadequate. So I bought a cordless framing nailer. Now this is a Paslode gas powered nailer. It actually has a gas cylinder that goes in here like a little tank, and then a battery, and it literally ignites and explodes itself to drive nails through substances. Pretty awesome. I've used this here and there on a few little projects, and I really like it. As far as attaching the plywood to the home, I'm going to be using galvanized ring shank 3-inch nails with the Paslode gun. I'm going with nails because they are more flexible. I'm going with galvanized because it's an exterior project, and I'm going with ring shank because I don't ever want these nails to back out, if at all possible. I also decided only to go with 3-inch long nails because I'm going through 5/8 plywood, maybe at most 1/8 inch of old metal roofing, and then I'll be right into the trusses of my home. And I don't want to blow through them with like 3.5-inch long nails. These 3-inch nails will be plenty enough, I'm sure. And they're going to be holding really well with the ring shank nails, but I don't have any concerns about them backing out or not holding well enough. That being said, I do have a box of exterior deck screws up here with me, and if I run into a situation where I really want the actual holding power of a screw with the plywood to the roof, I'll definitely do that if I feel like I need to. But for the majority of the fastening, these guys here are going to be doing the job for me. I have 2,000 of these. I hope to goodness that I overbought. Last but not least, the other tool that I bought is this, and it's really hard to tell what it is. It's basically a cutting guide for the circular saw to cut plywood. We're going to have to be trimming these sheets of plywood down to widths of whatever width so that they line up on the trusses. And I don't know if I'm going to be going back and forth up and down, or if I might be able to get Angela to help me, or one of my brothers, or a stranger walking down the road who's just really desperate. So if someone's not as comfortable with using a circular saw as maybe I would be, or that, you know, not that I'm perfect either way, this jig and this tool will really help just get rid of the guesswork and give perfectly straight square cuts, and it makes it easier for the user. My thought process for buying this tool is that Angela might be doing some of the plywood cutting, and she's good with tools. She knows how to use them. But something like this gives her the confidence to not be worried as much, and just to make the process easier for her. That, and hey, it's another tool, so Sam was cool with that. Alright guys, that's a look at all the tools that we have right here. Things that I don't have pictured, obviously a ladder. It would be nice to have a ladder to get up onto the roof of your home. But that's about it. I don't really have anything else hidden away or squirreled away. That's just so, yeah. I don't know what to say, guys. That's all the tools I got right now. Hopefully that is correct. And yeah, we'll see. Alright, so let's talk about expenses of these tools, because this is something worth talking about and mentioning. When you do a project yourself, if you don't have the tools to do it, you've got to either rent them, buy them, or if the tools outweigh the cost to pay someone else to do it, go down that road. Being that we are YouTubers and we are DIYers, we will most of the time buy the tools to do the jobs ourselves to share with you all. It's just how we are. It's kind of how it goes. So that begs the question, if we did not have our YouTube channel, would we still be doing this ourselves, or would we just pay someone else to do it? I have a hard time not having a couple of money trees out here in the yard, which I wish I did, but I don't. So I have a hard time paying someone to do a job that I feel like I can do myself. Now, this might be the voice of stupidity talking, because I haven't started the job yet, and I may come to really regret doing this job myself. But up until this point, everything we've done, everything you see out here on this property, Angela and I have done ourselves. And so far, we haven't regretted it. We keep coming back for more, so we must actually like it. The Paslode nailer was about $400. The circular saw jig was $80. The hammer stapler, we'll say, was $60 when you include the staples. And the tool belt, we'll say, is another $50. So altogether, that's $480, $540. Altogether, that's close to $600. Ouch! Don't tell Angela. No, actually, that's fine. Tell her. She's in on this too. I can guarantee you the labor to do what we're about to do would be well over $600. It would probably be more close to $2,000 labor. So we're still in the profit side of this project, but we also have the tools for other things if we need, and we're still getting to do this and share this with you guys, which is really what we enjoy doing ourselves anyway. I just wanted to share with you what those tools cost, to have that in your mind. If you decide to do this yourself, you got the materials, you've got the tools, and then you've got your time. So hopefully that helps you. We just got back from the hardware store here in our little town. I got myself another saw blade for my circular saw, because I know I'm going to be using it a lot. And then I picked up some more white duct tape for our rain contingency plan, and one of these little construction red crayons. I'm going to use this to mark the location of the rafters on the roof. So let's go ahead and throw this saw blade in the saw so we can have one more thing done to save time tomorrow.
Maximum flight altitude reached.
Alright guys, we'll do a 2-for-1 here. Since the drone doesn't capture any kind of audio, I will just talk as I'm looking at my screen here and what I'm doing as a flyover. I'm just going to fly down the front of the house right at the peak, going from front to back, and let you guys kind of see what we got going on. Here you can see some aluminum tape that I put on a couple of years back. Looks like I think that might be bird poop. I don't think it's a hole, but either way, we'll get it fixed. This aluminum flashing tape was put on as a patch to like try and prolong the life of our roof, because that's where the seam is of the original metal roof, and it was kind of showing some buckling and separation. The seam's done good. We've not had any leaks or anything, thank goodness. What you're seeing here, this is the actual vent for our electric furnace, which is kind of odd. We got a roof vent for an electric furnace because it's electric. We are going to take that out. We're going to take that whole box out and just get rid of it, just delete the whole system, because our furnace is electric and we're not going to put a gas one in there, and it doesn't need to be vented. So that'll be one less thing on the roof that we got to deal with as well. As far as the design of the roof, I mean, it's a simple pitch roof. It's not going to be that complicated. You're seeing there the back porch roof, that's not really attached, so we don't have to worry about that as far as putting any kind of roofing with that for right now. We do have plans on obviously changing that whole back area, so for now the new roof is just going to hang it over top of it, or possibly we're going to remove part of the back porch roof to give it clearance. Still got to figure that one out. But as we go on down the roof, it's pretty basic. You know, you can see some rust showing through here and there, which is not good, but I mean, it's not solid rust like other roofs that we have seen. The roof penetration you see there, that's the pipe coming out of the kitchen where the stove vent is. So that will definitely be staying, and we're going to need to make sure that stays intact and looks good and put it back. I don't plan on buying a new cap or a new system, but I mean, we'll see what we get into when we get up there too. On farther back, the last thing we have, this is actually the vent out of our bathroom. And as you can see, there's not much of a pipe sticking through there, if anything at all. And so what I did is I put some flashing tape around it to help seal it. And honestly, I really think it's amazing that we don't have leaks in our roof. I mean, we're really blessed in that sense, because this was exposed and open. And the other vent on the bathroom over here at the front of the house has a Mountain Dew bottle somebody cut. I actually did a really good job with that. So anyway, we're lucky that we've not had any problems for sure. So there's a little view at what we've got ahead of us. Here's the back of the house over top of the bedroom. I'll do a flyby here over the back door area. And then we'll go and check out that Mountain Dew bottle real quick, since I said something about it, just in case I forget to talk about it tomorrow. Let's see if I can slowly get close to it. So there you go. There's someone's redneck engineering. I can't take credit for that one, although it's really done well. You can see they put a galvanized strap over top of it, and it's spaced up off of the pipe, all coming through the roof and everything. So, I mean, as far as Mountain Dews go on a single wide, it's pretty good. And there we go. That's a look at the roof overall. Little canopy spot, and me out here in the sun right there at the trailer. Well guys, hope you appreciated the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Definitely appreciate you watching and checking it out. We are excited to get this thing going. Today is Tuesday, the 1st of September. I'm starting tomorrow, the 2nd of September. I'm going to try and go inside and edit this video and throw it up tonight for you guys too. My goal is to get you as close to real time as possible. So, thanks for watching. Got any questions or comments, leave them down below. May take me a little while to get to them because tomorrow I'm going to be roofing. But either way, love to see them and read them. We'll see you guys next time on the homestead.